Hello everyone, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, and I have a card trio for you guys that I made using My Favorite Things Beautiful Blooms stamp set and their coordinating dynamics. So I kind of sped up this video because when I made these, I was all over the place. Honestly, the video footage was just crazy. I was playing around and having fun, and I should have taken a picture of the mess of my desk afterwards. Anyway. To start off with, I used the Beautiful Blooms Dynamics, and there's a set of 3 vases in the die set. So I die cut some craft cardstock with that. And then I die cut some gold glitter cardstock with MFT stitched oval scallop frames, the largest one in the set. I just had this idea in my head to do sort of a crooked, somewhat messy look. Was sort of experimenting here. And I also used the pattern paper from MFT. This is their Tranquil Textures 6x6 pack. And I wanted to do a fair bit of layering. And before I got to the actual stamping, what I decided to do was trace out each of these vases onto the white cardstock with a pencil. Because rather than stamp and die cut each individual like stem and everything else, I wanted to stamp it directly in the cardstock, and I wanted to make sure that I stamped it so that, you know, the ends of the stems weren't peeking out and like made it look, I wanted to make it look a little more finished, as if the stems were actually inside those vases. So the pencil outline just gave me a visual guide so that you can see where I don't ink up like sort of the ends of the stems there, and then I also make sure that as I'm stamping it, I'm not stamping those past where the little pencil lines are. So that helped me out a ton. And then I did everything all at once, kind of mass producing in a way. I did all the stamping, you know, in the certain colors, you know, went from one piece to the other. And I just kind of had fun with it. I used several different colors of MFT inks and stamped the stems and the flowers. And sometimes I would re-stamp without inking up the stamp again. So I'd get a lighter version of the same image just to give it a little more depth and dimension. So all of them I did just slightly different positions, different areas. That was the nice thing about this too, and that's why I ended up doing 3, is there's 3 different vases in the set. So I kind of had to go with that. Plus with the pattern papers, you know, there's 3 different pattern papers. There's, you know, a green, a blue, and a purple. So it just worked to do a set of 3 rather than choosing one. I was like, why not do 3 at the same time? So once I was done with all the stamping, I had to add a few splatters. So I just took an acrylic block. I have this old towel, and you can see it's just getting completely stained. I wash it every once in a while once it gets completely out of control. But I lay that on my work surface, and then I just mushed the ink pad right onto an acrylic block, and then picked it up with a really, really wet paintbrush and tapped the paintbrush on my finger to create some splatters. And I added a green, a blue, and a purple to all of them. It's just really light, fine, almost like a mist sort of a splatter. And then I clean up my acrylic block so that I don't end up getting ink everywhere else. And then I did the green as my last one. And same thing, just picked it up with a really wet brush and then flicked it onto the image. And once I was done splattering everything to high heaven, I went on and did the vases. And I don't know if you've seen like in home decor and everything, but like gold finishes on things is just so super popular, and that's kind of what I was thinking of when I did this. So I took my Delicata Golden Glitz ink pad and just applied it directly to these die cut vases. And on craft, it doesn't show up super well. In real life, you can kind of see it, but to really make it pop, I use my Ranger Gold Perfect Pearls, and I just pick it up with this little fluffy brush and brush it right onto that wet ink. And the ink helps kind of bind the perfect pearls and hold it in place as it dries, and then it's fine. It doesn't really come off at all, and it just gives it that gold pop. I've shown videos doing this, I think a couple years ago. But yeah, adding gold perfect pearls to gold ink just makes it like, it's so gorgeous. Pictures do not do it justice. So once that was all done, I have to add more gold. As soon as I started doing this, and then that gold cardstock I had die cut in the beginning, I was like, everything has to be gold. So I grabbed my Heidi Swap Color Shine Spraying Gold. I had to you have to shake it up really, really, really well if you're not using it on a regular basis, because all the pigment settles to the bottom. So I shook it up really well, and then pulled out the sprayer, and then just tapped the nozzle against my finger to create a gold splatter. So fun. Again, went a little bit overboard, but I could not help myself. And then as it dries, this again has this beautiful gold metallic look to it. Love it. So Did all that, and I'd done that on all of the layers there, you know, just kind of laid them out how they were, and then set those aside to completely dry. And once they were dry, I then stamped the sentiments onto each panel. And again, there's 3 separate sentiments in this stamp set. So everything was just coming together to do 3. So I stamped all the sentiments with VersaFine Onyx Black ink and making sure everything was dry before I took my little eraser and erased all those pencil lines that I had created originally for the vases, because I don't want those to show up in any way, shape, or form. And then, of course, I grabbed some gold thread from my stash. I've had this thread for years now. Wrapped it around my finger multiple times, and then I put it in place, and then adhered each vase over top of the gold thread. So it's just kind of messily stuck around it. That was kind of a fad for a while there. I don't even know if anyone still does that, but I still like it. I just don't do it very often. So, and as a final embellishment, I added little tiny gold clothespins that I had in my stash as well. And then some enamel dots, because of course I had a purple set, a green set, and a blue set. So just to kind of tie it all together, I added a few little enamel dots, and then I adhered the pattern paper panel I created with some foam tape, because these little clothespins make for quite a bulky little embellishment. A set like this I would either hand deliver or just give to someone, or if you were going to put it in the mail, I would pop it in a bubble envelope just to kind of keep the integrity of all the embellishments and everything, you know, in place. And then to finish off the insides, I had strips left over from trimming the pattern paper for the front. So I cut those down a little bit, and then I just stamped one of the little sprigs on the inside of the card multiple times. And then adhered the pattern paper, just making sure it was just shy of the spine so that the card can fold. And then I turned the card over and trimmed off the excess pattern paper. And that finished them off. So I've got this fun little set of shimmery, shiny gold cards. As always, there will be a link below the video to my blog post with all the pictures. There will be links to all the supplies used. If you're interested in any of that, just check out the description box below and check out my blog. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing and thumbs upping my videos. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys very soon in the next one. Bye.